Today, like any other day, I'm gonna be in the studio. Let's go. So, hey guys, it's Lydia, and I'm a potter. I've really wanted to get into long form content. I do a lot of short form content on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, stuff like that. But I really think that YouTube allows you to connect with your audience a lot more. You get to see the full process, which I think is really interesting. You don't get to really see that much on just 30-second clips. I'm really excited to start YouTube. I think it'll definitely grow my audience. I really want to get my website going so then I can sell my work and do different types of drops. A lot of people have been asking me when I'm going to start selling, and I don't have a date yet, but it is going to be in the near future, so I'm very excited for that. So as you can see, I just got 25 pounds out of the box, and I get my clay from Rocky Mountain Clay in Colorado. You should definitely check them out if you're in the area. They're super great. And this clay mix is the BMX. It's really easy to work with, and I enjoy it a lot. I don't know how much clay this is because I do not have a scale yet, but that is one of the next things that I'm going to buy for my studio so then I can start weighing out my work. And the reason for that is so if I want to make a lot of bowls or a lot of bottles or whatever it may be, I know how much clay I'm using if I want to create the same vessel and get the same look. Because if I use 5 pounds of clay for one and 4 pounds of clay for another, they're obviously going to be very different from each other. So if you're trying to go for symmetry, then having a scale to weigh out your work is definitely important. I'm just about to start throwing, but first I'm kind of cleaning up my area. When I have a clean studio, it just helps me work better, and if I don't keep up on it, then it can get really bad, and that is not a fun job to do. So I like to just wipe it down before, even if it's going to get dirty in about 2 minutes. It just is very helpful. And finally, I am about to smack it down onto the wheel head and get started. I start by adding water, and I'm going to be going into a process called centering. This clay was a lot stiffer because at work I've been using pugged clay, which is pretty much just a bunch of slop put into a machine and it's pugged out into a log, and normally it's very soft. Sometimes it can be hard, but most of the time it's pretty soft. But this clay was straight from the box, and I haven't thrown with that in a little while, so I wasn't ready for it, but it ended up being completely fine. I actually like to work with a little bit stiffer of clay just because it is a little easier, maybe not on the wrists, but for forming different types of vessels, it can be very helpful to have stiffer clay. Right now I'm just coning up, and I'm about to start to cone down here soon. This is pretty much just like wedging on the wheel. It helps get all the clay uniform and nice and centered up. So once we have our clay fully centered, we can finally go into the vessel, which is what I'm doing now. It's pretty much just opening up the pot so then I can pull them up after that. This part is a little scary for beginners because it can get off-centered if you're not stable enough with your hands on the outside and on the inside. But I've been rambling for a little bit, so I'm just going to be quiet and you guys can listen to some music and watch me create this vessel. I'll probably pop in here soon to talk to you guys, but yeah, I hope you enjoy the process. Alrighty, so I'm popping back in. I just wanted to tell you guys that right here I started noticing that my clay was being very wonky and it had a lot of air bubbles in it. So in about probably a minute or so, you're gonna see me popping a lot of air bubbles inside of my clay. And I think it just, when I was coning up and coning down, the clay was being very weird and it was ripping and it was doing all of these weird things, but I just kept going. I ended up making a very pretty vessel, but I just wanted to explain that really quick. So once I start popping all those air bubbles, you will understand what I'm doing. So yeah, enjoy, keep watching. I just finished up the pot and I actually really like this one. It turned out better than I thought it would, but I just clean up my hands so then I can wire tool it off with clean hands and put it on my wedging table. And then this is my after throwing cleaning session. I do not deep clean it right now just because I'm probably going to throw again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So I just give it a good wipe down. I will deep clean it within a couple of days after throwing, but all of my tools get a good wipe down, all the ones that I used at least. And that was my wooden rib tool and my needle tool. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was my first ever one, so I'm gonna get a lot better at this. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of it, and I hope you guys have a great day. But other than that, peace out.